Okay, so this is chapter 3. Chapter 3 is about budgeting. More specifically, 3.1 is about average monthly expenditures. Our learning objective is to compute the average monthly expenditure. So to do that, we sum our monthly expenditures and then divide it by the number of months we're looking at. Sometimes there are some months where we spend more money in one area than we do on the other. Because I'm a teacher, I spend way more money on entertainment in the summer than I do during the school year. Because I'm really busy during the school year. But when I'm not working, I do a lot more fun stuff. So depending upon which months you're at, it's important to know, over a span of months how much you're spending in each area. So we're going to look at Selena and Trent. They're the Millers. They keep a pretty good record of their monthly expenditures. Here's July, August, and September on your page. And they want to know how much they spend each month for the different categories. So we are going to help them calculate the average monthly electric bill. We live in California, so my electric bill for air conditioning shoots through the roof during the summer. So it's really hard to be a teacher in California because I don't get paid over the summer, and I spend more on entertainment, and I spend more on my electric bill because my air conditioning is running all the time. Because I am home, and I don't want to be hot when I'm at home, so I turn my air conditioner on. Okay, so I'm going to underline my electric bill for July. I'm going to underline my electric bill for August, and I'm going to underline my electric bill for September. I'm going to take those three numbers and add them together, because remember, I'm summing them. So 121.47 plus 153.56 plus 125.88. I'm going to add those three items together. Go ahead and you guys can do this with me with your calculators. So 121.47 plus 153.56 plus 125.88. We get $400.91. Is that the average of the 3 months? Is $400.91 the average of the 3 months? No, we have to divide by 3 to get the average. So take that number, just leave it right there in your calculator, and divide it by 3. So the average for electricity is $133.64. You guys learned on your last test that it is important to know how to round these pennies. There's a question on the Chapter 2 test that if you didn't round it correctly, where if it's 5 or more after the pennies, you round up. If it's 4 or less, you keep it the same. And in this case, because I have 0.636, it rounds up to 0.64. Okay, we're going to do this same activity for their credit cards, for their groceries, and for their home repairs. Okay, I'm going to keep it kind of in these columns. All right, so for credit cards, I'm going to underline credit cards. So here it is, 121.74. Credit cards are right here in August. Whoa, 298.65. And then it's right here $171.28. So you're going to add all those together. Plus 298.65 plus 171.28. I got $591.67. Is that what you guys got?
Yes.
All right, so then we find the average. So we divide by 3. Keep it right in your calculator. So the average monthly expenditure for credit cards is $197.22 because it's 0.223. So because it's 4 or below, it stays at the 2. Are we always going to divide by 3?
Yes. No.
When does it change, Logan?
We have more months.
Yeah, when there's more months that we're looking at. So if I was looking at 4 months, I would divide by 4. If I was looking at an entire year, I would divide by 12. If I was looking at 6 months worth of expenditures, I would divide by 6. The best data is a whole year's worth of expenses. Then you can kind of even it out and plan a little bit better. All right, groceries. My family of 4, we spend about $400 a week on groceries, and that's because I eat like an old lady and Mitch eats crackers and cheese. So, but the other 2 kids, they eat the good stuff. So let's look at what these guys have for groceries. The first month was $275. The second month was $319. And the third month was $285.92. Now, Mr. Mitch, while I add these up, I'll tell you the story about this month's budget. So it's homecoming last week, and I purchased about $250 worth of homecoming supplies. And Mr. Mitch was mad that I put over $200 on our credit card. And I said, honey, don't worry because I'm going to get a reimbursement check. He's like, you threw the budget all off. And so then he's like, you're on budget lockdown. And I'm like, make me. Because really, you can't lock me out of our budget, right? Okay, so we get $879.92. We're going to divide that by 3 because, Manny, how many months are we looking at? 3. And each month we spend about $293.31. Now, guys, this is straight from Ms. Doppelgar's heart to yours. Credit cards are not free money. Just because you have a credit card with a limit of $700 doesn't mean you have to spend $700 up to the limit. It's not free. I think of it in terms of like a loan shark. And what a loan shark does is they'll let you borrow money, and then if you don't, they'll charge you way giant amount of interest, and then if you don't pay them back with the interest, they bust your kneecaps. So I just use that mentality when I'm thinking about credit cards. If you cannot pay it off within the month, don't put it on your credit card. If you are using your credit card because you cannot afford what you want to buy, don't buy it. Think of it like a loan shark. Now, your kneecaps are going to get busted. If you're spending money you don't have, eventually you're going to have to pay for it. And you may end up ruining your credit or paying for something that, 10 years later, that is already broken or gone or not worth anything. So if you cannot afford it within the month, your monthly budget, don't use your credit card to buy it. All right, last one, home repairs. Let's look at July. If you look at this budget, where are the home repairs? Where are the home repairs in July's budget? Is it hiding in different wording?
Car repairs?
Nope, that's just for the car. I will tell you, we spend no money in July for home repair. I'm going to put a 0 down, and you guys are going to think I'm crazy because you're like, duh, Miss Applegarth, if we spent no money, it's obviously we don't add anything. But I'm putting the 0 there as a placeholder so we know we're still dividing by 3. All right, so home repair, we did spend $275.68. Jenna, did the flooring guy give you money for repairing? Did you get money for that?
No, I don't know how that works. My mom works with his wife. So
Okay. You make sure, because you get the kickback for that. Okay. So my home repairs for this last month total $20,000.
Holy.
Oh
yeah, that's right.
So because I got a completely new kitchen, the flooring is being finished tomorrow. So sometimes it's 0, sometimes it's $20,000. But I saved up for a really long time, so I could afford to do that. So good?
That's true.
Okay. So we're going to add those 3 things together, the 0, the $275.68, the $96.45. I get $372.13. Did you get the key? Okay. All right, and then we're going to divide this by 3. Even though we spent no money that first month, that month still went by. So we're still dividing by 3. So on average for home repairs, we spend $124.04. Okay, let's turn the page together. The next thing we do, so step number 1 is figure out on average how much you spend. Step number 2, let's make a plan. Put together a budget for your money so that, and it's like a plan. Okay, so our learning objective for 3.2 is to use the records of past expenditures to prepare a monthly budget sheet. So the first 2 pieces of our total monthly expenses are super easy. How much does it cost for you to live? That's pretty easy to calculate. That's like rent, food, we look here, electricity, heat, phone, internet, cable, water. Still my living expenses is transportation, what I put in my car. If you're in the city, if you work in the city, you might have to pay for parking. If you work in San Francisco, you might have to pay for a toll. I grew up in the Seattle area, and a lot of places require you to ride a ferry, and it costs money to get on the ferry. You just drive your car onto the ferry. If you haven't done that, it is a trip, and you should all experience that because it's super cool to get on the ferry. Then we got personal spending is still monthly living expenses. So how much do you spend to clothe yourselves? What you put on your credit card? Any gifts? Because sometimes you can't ignore your mom's birthday. You got to get her something, even if it's just flowers. Spending money and all of your entertainment stuff. all those items are considered a monthly living expense. And once we find the average of those, like we did in the last section, we can put them on our budget sheet. So all those are monthly living expenses. There are some fixed expenses. If you look over at Celine Insurance examples of fixed expenses, those are things.
3 0 7 4 8 7 7 4 0.
Got you. Turn it. Okay. So our monthly fixed expenses are things that are going to stay the same every month, like our rent or our mortgage. That's the same amount every month. Our car loan, if you get a car loan, that's the same every month. Putting money away for savings, you should put the same amount of money in savings every month. Life insurance, car insurance, taxes, your car registration. So those are annuals. Okay, so those are monthly fixed expenses that don't change. That's why it's called fixed. All right, and that's pretty easy to calculate. You just write those down. Here is the difficult one. This is the one that's kind of like, the meh one. So for your annual expenses, in order to get them to behave in a monthly budget, we have to add them all together and divide by 12. So we'll be working on that together. And that's what this says. Take your annual expenses like your insurance amount, your car registration, your property taxes, all that shenanigans. Add it together and then divide by 12. Once it's divided by 12 and we've chunked it up into a monthly amount, we can add it to our monthly expenses. Okay, so a budget sheet outlines your total monthly expenses. It includes your living, your fixed, and all your annual expenses. So we're going to look at the Millers together. After calculating their monthly share of annual expenses, find their total monthly expenses. So thankfully this chart is so beautiful for you guys. Right at the bottom is the total of their monthly living expenses. So all this stuff here in the left-hand column is all added together for you. And its totals $1,089. And then their monthly fixed expenses are these guys. That is all also total for you. That's $1,078. And then now we need to know the monthly annual expenses. So what that is all these items added together to get $3,759, and you divide that by 12. Once we divide it by 12, it's $313.25. So think about this. If you didn't plan a part of your monthly budget, if you didn't put it aside for those annual expenses, every month you'd be $300 short. So you definitely want to make sure that all those big yearly things that you spend your money on, you're planning in your monthly budget. The worst is when you get surprised by an expenditure. And it happens to my parents every year. It seems like they, in December, their property tax is due, and it's $6,000 in property tax every December. And it's around Christmas time. So they're always they freak out a little bit every Christmas because of their $6,000 tax. I'm like, guys, that happens every year. You've been living there for, how old, Sloan? 13. Living there for 13 years, you should know. Property tax is going to be. All right, so we add all these together. So in our calculadoras, 1,089. 1,078, 313.25. we get $2,480.25. Dos mil, 400, 80 y 35. Okay. Any questions? Hay preguntas. Con este, ¿no? ¿Es claro? Alrighty, so we're going to try this. Numbers 1 and 2. So I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. I'm going to put number 1 right here. Our annual expenses are $4,200. It's $4,200. So we have to take the $4,200 and make it behave in our monthly budget. So we're going to divide that by 12. So our monthly portion of our annual bills is $350. We're going to add in our living expenses and our fixed expenses of $800. So I don't even need a calculator for this. Watch how fun this is. Math by hand. Woohoo! $1,820. $1,820. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with number 2. We're going to start with our annual expenses. Just colored over my number. Divided by 12, because it's 12 months we're making it behave. It's $291.17. That's our monthly portion for our annual bills. We're going to add our living to that. And our fixed expenses. Just for fun, while you guys are writing, I'll add these together without a calculator. Carry the 1, 6, 7, 16, 17, and 7 is 24. 2, 4, 4 is 8, 8, and 6 is 14. $1,446.57 per month. I looked at my paycheck stub yesterday. Guys, here's the good news. I make like $9,000 a month. But you know what got deposited into my bank? $4,500. Half of what I make got deposited. I'm so sad. It looked so good on paper and then hurt so bad when you see the bank account. All right, lesson 3.3, using a budget. So 3.1 was looking at what we spend every month and getting our averages. Lesson 2 was putting a budget together. And then now this is lesson 3 of chapter 3. And we're going to be looking at how do we use our budget once we have it set into place. So our lesson objective, our learning objective, is to compare the amount budgeted to what we actually spent. Just because I say I'm going to spend $500 getting my hair and my nails did, doesn't mean I actually go and spend that much. It could be I spend more because my girl, she does my hair good and she costs $200 every time and I gotta go every 2 weeks. So taking a look at how you actually spend compared to your budget is an important piece of putting a budget together. So I'm going to ask you this question. Have you ever been surprised by an unexpected expense? All right. Let me tell you about our variance. So you guys underline this formula. So we take the amount we had budgeted, we minus the actual money we spent. This part is easy. Negative is a frowny face. Positive is a happy face. So if you take your budget, subtract out what you actually spend, and get a positive number, it's a good thing. You haven't spent over your budget. If you take your budget amount, minus out what you actually spend, and you get a negative number, negative is a frowny face. That is bad. So if the variance is positive, you are under budget. If variance is negative, you are over budget. So it's happy face to be under budget, sad face to be over budget. So let me show you how that works with Frank and Minnie. I need this zoomed in, full screen. Okay. Frank and Minnie, they look at their groceries. Their budgeted amount is $340. They actually spend $361.85. If you actually type this into your calculator, 340 minus $361.85, it will come out negative $21.85. So we are over by $21.85. So we are over budget, frowny face, because we're negative. So they spent $21.85 more. On groceries than they budgeted. Groceries is probably the easiest bill to adjust according to your budget. You can always get a little bit better deal on food if you just try a little bit harder. So if you are looking, because usually gas is going to be what it's going to be, rent is going to be what it's going to be, but groceries, that's something you have a lot of control over. All right, Zoe and Douglas, they spent $168 or $167.80, and they spent $158.90. So if you guys are looking at showing work and want the quick way around, go ahead and put a circle or a box around those things and put a minus sign in between. So that's a simple plug this into your calculator. So 167.80 minus 158.90. So we are $8.90, and we are positive. So we are under budget. Last one. Millie Bradley budgeted $647.50, but spent $671.92. Just looking at it, is she over or under? She is over. She spent more than her budget, so we just do a quick little subtraction. And we are over, this is negative $24.42. Okay.